Hello guys, welcome to the next episode of Wicked Recovery. I'm having to record this on Sunday night because during my normal Monday morning drive tomorrow, my phone will not be in service. I decided today to wash my car, and I was being super smart to do it myself instead of pay money to go through a car wash because I think that's lame if you have a driveway and a water hose. So that might end up costing me many hundreds of dollars because my stinking phone fell into the bucket of hot soapy water. Only for a moment. I took it out. I did everything you're supposed to do. It kind of works, but not really. I took it out of rice to show you, but can you see the screen? Yeah, that's the settings screen. It looks like crap. And it kind of thinks it's always getting pushed. Like it's vibrating in my hand right now. And when I tried to see if the camera would work, it was going psycho on me. It was just like... So, I'm not going to be able to record it on my phone. So I'm going to record it now, and then hopefully by next week on Monday. Ideally, this phone will be back to normal, or... worst case, I will have to go out and buy another phone, which sucks. So here's where it's been spending its time. In the bag of rice that everybody always recommends, but I still need my phone on me, so I'm carrying the bag of rice with me rather than like leaving it at home in a bowl or something. So that's how we're going. This is how we're living for a few days. They said, I went to the little store. I didn't go to the Apple store. I didn't go to the Genius bar because I don't have one close by and I wasn't going to drive forever out of the way. But I went to some little local place and they couldn't do anything. But they said it does have to be in rice for 72 hours. So I'm going to record it now at home. Didn't think about it until I was in the shower. So I'm out of the shower and I look like crap. Luckily, it's dark, so who cares? I haven't really thought ahead a whole lot of what I wanted to say this week, but I will say that my sobriety tracker is now 4 months and 4 days. Yay. I think my tip, this won't really work for everyone, but I like to go back and look at before sometimes. So I mentioned in my Trader Joe's haul on my other channel that I went back and watched a video from a year ago, and I actually gone back and looked at a few videos from a year ago and even 6 months ago, and I can always tell as soon as I turn it on, yeah, I was drinking that day or I was hungover that day. I can always tell. My face is puffy, my eyes are puffy. I talk about being tired. I like to go back. I think it's sometimes good to go back and see how different I looked and how different I acted and kind of remember how that felt. And luckily, as I'm looking back, I'm not looking at party pictures. I'm not looking at times where maybe I was, glorifying it in some way. I'm not looking at honeymoon pictures or years ago. And maybe I had a drink in my hand, because that's not what the reality was. The reality was I felt like shit all the time. I was tired. It was aging me. And I never felt good. So I like to go back and maybe watch some of those videos or read some of the journals I wrote. I have lots of records of things I said and did. Sometimes when I was really, really low, I could be deeply drunk. I would have that middle of the night, I should just be dead. Why am I even trying? I'm no good to anybody. My kids would be better off without me. And I would record things. My recordings, might just be a voice recording. They weren't necessarily that, but I would cry. Just cry my heart out and swear I was going to do better and say, next time I feel like drinking, I need to listen to this. And I didn't, because I didn't want anything to talk me out of it. Once I had it in my head that I was going to do it, I was like I'm even going to look at that stuff. No. So now that I've had 4 months under my belt, which feels good. Now when I go back and look at that, like I am open to looking at that and being reminded and seeing how far I've come. And I never allow myself to do a victory dance and say I beat it, because I think that's your first clue that you're about to screw up again. If you ever start thinking I beat it or I got this, that's something that Paul says on Recovery Elevator. He's like, saying I got it should be get yourself to a meeting. The minute you start thinking I got this under control, I got this licked, you're in trouble. So having a healthy respect, always knowing you could fall. You could have 10 years under your belt and still, you're never safe. You're never safe. You could look at it, this is a kind of a crappy analogy, but I think it might be accurate. You can look at it as, people aren't cured of cancer. People have cancer. It goes into remission, and the goal is to keep it into remission for the rest of your life. No one says, and when they say it, it's false. You don't get cured of cancer. You might get rid of it at the moment, but once you've had it, you have it, and it's just asleep. And are you going to hopefully it won't wake up again. Hopefully it won't come back. Alcoholism is a cancer. Addiction is a cancer. Once you've had it, once it has taken hold of your life, then your hope is to be in remission, or we call it recovery. You don't say I'm recovered. Again, your mileage may vary. Your opinion may be different. There's a lot of debating out there about that. Some people, like me, do look at it as a disease. Obviously, it's a disease. You brought it on yourself. Okay, I get beyond the blame game. I'm not going to live in shame. I'm not ashamed of myself. I regret what has happened, but I'm not wasting any time on that. We're wasting another second on feeling like shit about something that I now am really working every single day to overcome. I'm not wasting any more of my time or any more of my joy on that. So I lost my train of thought on that one. I think what I was going for there was whether or not we caused this disease, or we brought it on ourselves, or we made a bunch of bad choices and now we screwed up. The cause doesn't matter at this point. I do feel like it's a disease, and it's the only disease I know of that you can have a say if it comes back or not. I'm recovering. I'm in recovery. I hope I will always be in recovery. And I hope there will be a day that this was 10 years ago. This was 20 years ago. That I can say I've now been in recovery for longer than I had been drinking beforehand. Like, part of me, I can't picture that at all. And part of me, I can. These 4 months have gone by a lot faster this time than the last time. I've lost track of what year it was. It might have been 2011 that I went 6 months, that I stopped on New Year's and I made it through June, halfway through June, and decided, woohoo, I'm not an alcoholic, bring the booze. That was a really long 6 months, and it's weird that I'm getting close to that timeline again. I think I've already said this in a different week, but I think for Valentine's Day, I think I'm going to give myself a Valentine that day. I think I'm going to, perhaps, I don't know what day of the week it is, but if it's a school day, I may take that day off. And I may go love myself that day and go do something like get a massage. I've never even had a massage, but I've been trying to step out of the box a little bit. Go have a massage. Go get a pedicure. Sleep late. Well, it'll be February, so can't really sit in the woods like I would like to, but I want to celebrate by loving myself and by being proud of myself, especially since that will be, I think that'll be past 6 months at that point. Yeah, because January is the 6-month point. So when I make it to February, I'm in my 7th month, and that's uncharted territory. And so it's exciting to kind of plan ahead and think about what I want to do with that. All right, I gotta go. It's bedtime. But my recommendation for something to listen to this week, I am so over the moon, excited, happy, thrilled to tell you that one of the best, funniest podcasts of all time finally has an episode out. It came out, I think, today or yesterday. And it's been over 2 years since their last one. I've written to one of them, one of the hosts, a couple times, and, he was like, it's out of my hands, it's up to the other one. But anyway, it's Inciting a Brouhaha, and it's a combination podcast from Firelight, who is on Inciting a Riot. Some of you might really enjoy that one. It's well done. It's been on for like 7 years or 6 years, something crazy. I don't listen to that one religiously only because there's so much political and in the news stuff on there, and it's all from a pagan perspective. But I hate the news, and I hate anything political. I did listen to one of his recent ones when he talked about the pipeline, and I listened to one about Fluffy Bunny, all that arguments. But he does focus on, it's almost like journalism. It's got humor, but it's almost like journalism. And then the other half of the team is Velma Nightshade, and she used to have a podcast that's really hard to find, like insanely hard to find. You can probably still find it online, but forget about it, through an app. Which is Brouhaha. And hers was really good. It was years ago, and she stopped at least 2 or 3 years ago, stopped making any recordings. But she was excellent too. I really enjoyed her. But the two of them together are funny. Funny as heck, man. I love them. They're hilarious. I would definitely recommend, if you listen to this most current one and you enjoy it, go back and listen to some of the other ones. There's a fair warning that the third one or the second one, one of them about fake flowers, you're going to want to ignore or skip unless you really enjoy hearing people argue, because they crossed the line of debate and got into some hardcore, uncomfortable arguing. And even they are like, what even happened? I don't even know. And like, they just don't go there anymore. Other than that one, their podcasts have made me laugh harder than any other podcast I've ever listened to. And it's not even like it's comedy. Just the two of them together are ridiculous. And they're both witches. They both have different backgrounds. They're just fantastic. So the most recent one just came on, and it's, again, Inciting a Brouhaha. If possible, I'll link it below. Otherwise, y'all go look it up and listen to it and tell me what you think. I love it. So this was a weird, different little episode of this. And pray for my phone. I don't want to buy another one. I've already bought 2 iPhones this year. And I don't have a lot of extra dough anymore. So if I have to, I will. And I'll get the freaking 7. They say it's waterproof, water resistant. If this one had been water resistant, it would be fine, because it was only in that bucket for half a second. But whatever. I've murdered my baby girl. I hope she'll be okay with the rice miracle. Have a great week. Thank you for watching.